kicking off week 6 of our New Testament of the year with looking at Acts chapter 10. This morning, an incredibly pivotal chapter. So please take the time to read it. Stace and I are on vacation this week. My goal is to get this short video each day done with our reading. We're in North Carolina, right on the beach, and I'll turn this and give you a look at what my view is. Sitting outside, it is freezing, and I know it's all relative, but it's just low 40s this morning and dark and windy and supposed to be rainy, but it is a beautiful view. I'm assuming you can kind of see the ocean out there. So as I said, oceans and mountains have ways of making you feel very insignificant. So but we're having a good time away. But Acts chapter 10 is, like I said, a very pivotal chapter, and it begins with in Caesarea with a man named Cornelius, who was a centurion, a leader of, basically a Roman that was a leader that appears he converted to Judaism and was seemed to be following the Jewish rules, a man of prayer, a man that brought his sacrifices and alms to God. And he receives a vision that God says, I've heard your sacrifices or your prayers and your alms, and tells him to send some people to go see Peter. And so it says, and I'm sorry, I don't have my physical Bible with me because of space, but I've got my phone I'm using, and send men to Joppa and bring one to Simon, who is called Peter. So they send people, and before that, Peter receives a vision, kind of this odd vision of a sheet with a bunch of food, and God saying, what God has made clean, do not call uncommon. And the food laws, there was things that were clean and unclean. And Peter was saying, but I can't eat this because it's unclean. And God is saying, basically, whatever I've created is clean. Really preparing him for the next part, that is, he heads down to Caesarea, and he basically shares the gospel with everybody who Cornelius has gathered, who would be almost all Gentiles. So it is the expansion of the gospel, the expansion of the church to the Gentiles, which is the focus of chapter 10. It's interesting, in chapter 2 of Acts, Peter is pivotal in the gospel message going into Jerusalem. And then we see in chapter 8, Peter spreads it further into Samaria. And now in chapter 10, we see the third instance of Peter fulfilling that great commission of taking, that you are my witnesses in Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and to the ends of the earth. So we see now Peter personally fulfilling that call, and the gospel message is going to the Gentiles. And as one thing I read said, that most the disciples really, ever since the stoning of Stephen, we read last week, that is the last they really seek to convert the Jews, and they are moving, the ministry of their ministry is moving on to the Gentiles. So we see that of Peter, and we should all be, as Gentiles, we should be incredibly thankful for this, that Jesus came not only for the Jews, but Jesus came with the goal to save all. We see a great description of Peter, of what Peter says in verses 34 and following, just a great description of the gospel. So if you wonder what the gospel message is, you can read that. So yeah, just a good verse. People receive the Holy Spirit and they're baptized. So that is, in Acts, is generally the order. People come to faith, they receive the Holy Spirit through faith, and are then baptized. That's the order we typically see in Acts. So, like I said, I hope you're able to spend some time with God this morning reading that chapter, and I'm looking out and feel, yeah, I'm pretty insignificant compared to this ocean and the vastness of God and the creativity. And Stacy's been going out on the beach and walking, bringing back different shells, and she really enjoys doing that. But just the creativity is pretty astounding. So have a fantastic day. We will see you on here tomorrow morning. God bless you.